Hello, friends. Welcome back to another Everything You Want, Nothing You Need. I'm joined today by the handsome, the beautiful, the very good-looking Ian Velez.
Hello.
Ian, we've been planning this for
A while.
For years.
Well, yeah, because the last one was years. Well, a year.
We were going to do this, I don't know, 2 months ago. It's amazing how one little tiny...
We were stopped by a nut.
One small nut ruined everything.
Stopped two men in their 20s.
Many men can say that as well, but we had one small nut ruin our podcast adventures. But we did a podcast, what, a year ago? Probably 2 years ago.
I think it was literally the week after E3.
Yeah, no, it's been a while.
The week after E3, and then we did another one with Daniel. But that one was like lost in the archives.
Yeah, that one sort of lost to time. But that's okay because I think it's for the best people don't see those. Because we tried our best, but our best wasn't...
Yeah,
I won't say good enough, it just wasn't good.
It was very hot. It was in a secluded room.
Now we're in a secluded room with air conditioning, so you know.
The worst part about that one is we took like 2 hours updating Windows.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Updating Windows, so we spent about the hour we spent on the podcast, 3 maybe, was total time, and then so like the other 2 or 3 hours were just spent just us waiting on the computer to do its job.
Good old Windows. Never fails.
It's okay, we're using a Mac now.
The more, yeah, we do. I know, right? We're official now. We got, apparently, you know you're a real musician or artist or creative when you have when you have a MacBook.
A handy dandy little box with an Apple on it.
That's how you know you're real.
Like, yeah.
I just slap an Apple sticker on my Toshiba laptop, and that's my method.
That's like one of the best things, or one of the things we all looked forward to when we open like an Apple product is just like pull out the 2-headed sticker and just plan out whatever we could.
Yeah.
I had it on my Dell desktop from like 2004. That little dinosaur, rest in peace.
Did you get, are you on iOS 12 yet?
I believe so.
You believe?
Has it asked me for an update?
Has your phone updated recently?
Yes.
Okay, well then you probably.
Yes.
Do you get the group notifications?
I mean group notifications.
You don't get group notifications?
That would require me to have multiple friends.
Yeah, no, I understand that. I was like, man, I'm going to get group notifications? It's going to be so exciting. And then every hour I check my phone and I have like one notification. I'm like, it's great.
Yeah,
I love my group.
Like I have like maybe like one group
on
like Messenger for like Facebook Messenger.
Yeah.
And like one for Snapchat, and those are things that
I love how in 2018 phone numbers are sort of a thing of the past.
I work at T-Mobile, so
yeah.
I very much handle with people with this. And you know how many times I get customers that come in and I ask them, okay, oh, you want to get your account? Okay, what's your phone number? They're like, oh, crap. What do you mean? What is this?
I know my phone number. I'm talking about like knowing other people. Like there's people I talk to every day on like Facebook and social media. I couldn't tell you their phone number.
Oh, okay.
Like that's what.
Oh, you know, like I just know like mine and my like close family, like mother, father.
Like I have friends who I talk to every day. Like if you told me to call them right now, I'd be like, I don't.
It was like,
honestly, you can call people through Facebook now. Through Facebook, you don't even need their phone number. You just hit a button that says call on Facebook.
You know, the amount of people I use for like regular text is like small. We just use like other messaging apps.
See, I love iMessage too much to not do that.
Yeah, like
if your thing comes up green, I just don't text.
Like even you, like we text through Facebook Messenger. Like
yeah.
If I had to like pick,
we plan this through Facebook Messenger. We don't.
2 people I use regular iMessage for, and that's just like
your mom.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, yeah.
I barely text my mother though.
Oh, you just text your mom?
No, we talk. We're on the phone. We're like,
oh, that's better. That's better. Oh, what a real.
We do it in Neanderthal.
You're a real gentleman.
Yeah,
you're a real gentleman, Ian. Real class act.
But yeah, it's been a year.
It's been a year, and we've done some things in the year.
We have done.
Had we been? I don't think we'd even gone to E3. We did one podcast where we talked about what we wanted to see at E3.
Yes, but that was like...
And then I don't think we ever did like a E3... we never did an E3
No,
recap.
we never did an E3 anything.
And that was our first E3, which was just, you know...
Oh, no, yeah, we did the... No, we did the E3 afterwards.
I don't remember.
I think we did the one before and after.
Maybe.
Or both of them.
I don't know.
It's been a long time.
It's been a minute since we did this. But I'm glad to do this because really, I'll be upfront with the viewers here. The more of these we do, the better chance we have of going into E3 as press. So, you know.
Well, but it's also fun. It's kind of like therapeutic. Just sitting
podcasts are fun.
Just talking to a lens.
Yeah.
Hey,
you don't got to talk to lens. You can talk to me.
Yeah, well, yeah. It's like, and they're all listening.
And they're all 4 of them are so happy to
Yeah.
hear your stories.
Thank you. It's just like Discord chat. But
3 of them are me on separate tabs, but that's besides the point. But so let's go back a little bit. So E3 2017 was our first E3.
Yes. Oh,
Was
it's
it-
like God, makes me feel old. Yes, I remember my first one.
Back in the day, we went to the E3. When I was your age, the Xbox One was called the Scorpio.
Oh.
But that was all right. So we've been to 2 E3s now. 2017, 20. Which one did you like better?
Okay, so for me, it was in terms of experience and
Yeah.
everything, the first one.
Okay.
But in terms of the games I played, the second one.
Okay.
I very much enjoyed the games I played in the second one, and I enjoyed more the experience because this year I didn't spend a lot of time like trying to get like pictures with like famous people or anything like that. I spent it more like I kind of took it easy. I was like, there was some of them that I remember and everything. I said hi, but I let them go about the day. I just want to like.
Year 1 very quickly turned into a scavenger hunt for us.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
It wasn't a let's go play this game. It was let's go find this person and get a photo with them to prove how much better we are than everybody else.
It's just like, hey, this person has been spotted in this hall.
See, and it was funny because I met Charles Martinet 2017 E3, and then I just met him again at MegaCon, and when I saw him there, I was like, hey, all my friends were like, why are you excited to meet him? You've already met him. And I was like, yeah, but how many people can say they've met him twice? That puts me ahead of the curve. I can say I met Charles twice.
Yeah.
That makes me better than half the people who met him.
Yeah, I only met him once.
You only met him
Which was-
once. I gotta
Okay, I saw him at E3 this year. I saw him.
see. I didn't even see him this year.
I saw him. I did. I think if you remember, I think I did send you a text when we were at
You
E3.
said you saw him.
Yeah, I was like, hey, he's here. I didn't bother just because there was a bunch of people, and I'm like,
Yeah.
you met him.
I saw the most random guy I saw. I can't remember his name now. He's like 70 years old. He's a former basketball player. Do you remember what I'm talking about? Guy was like 7 feet, towering over
Yes,
everybody.
I think you had to text like your mom, who it was or something.
Yeah, I was like, "Do you know who this is?" And she was like, "No." And I think she asked my uncle or
I
somebody.
think it was like Luke, Blake, something Walton.
Yeah, Bill Walton, I think
Bill
was his
Walton,
name.
Yeah, that.
And it was just funny because like he's like the Big Show, just like towering over everybody.
I'm here to play games.
And then every 3 seconds he'd like stop and be like, he'd like raise his arms, and people like cheer and take pictures. I'm like, who is this tall old stranger? And apparently he was like, oh, he's an NBA. I was like, oh, that explains why I don't know him.
But the only NBA player that I know that into the video games is like Rick Scott, but that's because he has like he owns like esports teams.
That makes sense. And there's Xavier Woods from WWE.
Yeah, he was there.
But he runs his own YouTube channel with like a million.
So that's
He's a nut though. They do cosplay and stuff when they wrestle too. Like they show up to wrestle. Like
WrestleMania. They did a Final Fantasy.
they did a Final Fantasy
Yeah,
one
they
year.
were
They showed up to WrestleMania one year dressed as like Saiyans or like the Ginyu Force, I think it was. They were wearing like the Saiyan armor.
I think it was Saiyans.
So he's pretty cool. It was kind of funny when I met him because you could tell the man just wanted some time alone.
That's one of the reasons why I didn't.
But I was like in line and so when I got to him, I was like, hey, you can just shove me. He's like, no, of course. Come in. I was like, okay. But I still felt bad taking a picture with him.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I didn't take pictures this year. But too many. The only person we took pictures with I did was with Todd Howard. That's because I was one of the people like that I didn't scratch.
We had to work up so much courage to take that photo.
I don't even know why we were so like experienced with it. We've done it with it before.
But I guess it's because because Todd Howard, I think, was really the only, because I think everyone else we took pictures with were mostly personalities, like YouTube and like you met.
I met Tim Schafer.
Tim Schafer, who's the guy from Naughty Dog?
Neil Druckmann.
Neil Druckmann. You met him.
Yeah, that's the one I chased after.
But I think other than those two, everyone else we met was really like a personality.
Yeah, I would say it's just a lot of times it's when it comes
So I think to have the guy who was like in charge at Bethesda, and it was like, oh, okay, this is suddenly like a real big time developer. So I think that's what it was. Granted, Shigeru Miyamoto's walked by us twice now in the same spot on the same day at the same time,
and different years.
And both times we were too terrified to do.
No, I think the second time I actually tried to play it cool, I was just like.
I was like, me. Of course, the one guy way back, he's like, Miyamoto, and he quickly turned.
He said it wrong.
Yeah, I don't remember what he said. Miyamoto or
I don't know.
He butchered.
It wrong
He butchered the name, and I laughed.
I was like this, and now I just like looked at him. I was like, you're in the face of a god, and you
he couldn't. He said his name wrong, and I was embarrassed because I don't remember what he said. But I felt bad for the guy. I was like, you just pronounced.
Every year we've gotten closer. This year we were like probably like 2 or 3 feet.
I think his leg brushed me.
It's like,
Oh, Miyamoto. Of course, the man I'm still trying to hunt down is the Cess.
Adam says
He still escapes me.
he's been there both times.
I know. He's
hiding.
He's hiding on that second floor in meetings, I bet.
And then out of the people that to like spy, he's one of the easy ones because he's either bald or he's wearing a hat.
Yeah.
And this year he had a cane.
Ken Pereira will be easier in the future because like I'm starting to like chat with him more frequently now. So I think next year I can just be like, hey, you in town?
You've met a lot of more G4 personalities. This
Yeah. Tommy Tallarico, I saw him twice.
Yeah, twice.
Because he was Video Games Live, and then I saw him at E3. It was kind of funny. He introduced me. Remember, because we were in the hotel when I met him, and he was sitting at that table off.
Yeah, but we met him like at night.
Yeah, that's what I mean. We saw him there. He walked by us when we were standing outside Xbox. I saw him then, and then that night he was at the hotel.
Yeah, we were like, yeah, let's just walk.
And
around.
he was sitting with someone. I don't remember the guy's name, but
was that on the last night?
I think it was. But I'm talking with Tommy, and he introduces me to him, and he's like, "Oh, this guy's responsible for bringing Metal Gear Solid to the States." And hey, I was like, "So I have a picture with him on my phone. Can't tell you his name though. I totally blanked on his name."
Yeah, it's one of those people that like they've done big things, but nobody knows about them.
Yeah, unsung hero. One of those. Probably still works for Konami. Poor guy.
I wouldn't.
Have you seen all the new Jump Force trailers since the initial trailer?
The last one I saw was the Yugi.
Oh, Saint Seiya. They just announced today.
Today, yeah, I saw that. But I saw the Yugi where
who else? I saw there was somebody else. Some of the Hunter x Hunter characters.
I did see that.
There was somebody else. I don't remember. But it looks good. The beta actually is this weekend. Because I already played it, I blessed somebody else. I was like, "Here's the code. You deserve this."
I played as Sasuke, Zoro, and somebody else.
Was Sasuke in the demo? That was just Naruto.
Sasuke was in the demo.
Was he? Okay.
Yeah, it was 2 of each. It was
That's right.
It was Naruto,
Goku,
Sasuke,
and Frieza.
Goku, Frieza, and then Luffy and Zoro.
Yeah. Do you think we'll see Metroid Prime 4 at next year's E3? I know it's a little early to be calling predictions.
I think there's a chance, just because there was just complete silence this year. But they definitely did it the year before, just to like, hey, it's happening, and just kind of drive more hype on the consoles, and it just came out.
I do think we'll see. I think we'll see Animal Crossing.
Yeah,
after the tease they did for 2019, I think that'll definitely be there.
That for sure. If it's slated for next year.
If I can get a Mario Kart Double Dash Switch edition, that'd be nice too. The Nintendo Online service is getting some heat. I don't know if you've seen the reactions online to that.
Because I'm not gonna get it until I get Smash.
That's what I'm waiting. I don't have it yet. I'm gonna wait till Smash. But every time a new video comes, because every month the way they do it is every month they give new games. New NES games.
I think this month was Zelda something. So there's something with Zelda. They advertised a special Zelda 1. Everyone was thinking there's a SNES remake of the first Zelda, but it was only available in Japan through a special service. Oh yeah, but it ended up being just like, hey, you start with all the items.
Oh hey, you get some items and rupees to begin. That was the special edition of Zelda 1. That was a slap in the face. Yeah. And then, but yeah, so every month they swap out the games. And every video they put up about it, the YouTube comments and dislikes are just push because everyone wants Virtual Console, and Nintendo's like, no, we're done with that.
Well, yeah, it's one of the first things because that's what they. But it's also kind of our fault for kind of hyping ourselves up because when you hear Virtual Console, I'm like, I think like GameCube.
Right, and that's what everyone was ready for. Everyone was like, give me GameCube games on Switch, which.
Like we're not raving too much about the NES or maybe SNES games just because we just got the minis.
I mean, I'll take them, but
I'll take them. But it's just like we already have a way to get them.
But that's people's problem with the online service is you don't get to buy the games. You're basically renting them for a month. Because what happens is every month they swap. They're not adding games; they're swapping them. So in September, you could play Mario or Tetris.
Can you do it like PSN Plus where you just download it and keep it and then swaps?
No. It's like that's why people are mad because you only have September to play those games. October's here now, so it's a whole new list of games. and you can only play those games. And then once
I
November
would
rolls
be
around,
okay with that if I wasn't an adult and I had adult time where I had no time to play anything.
yeah, and then once November rolls around, it'll be a whole new list. That's why people are upset, which I think is justified. But at the same time, you're paying $20 a year. It's like
Well, yeah, when I saw the price,
you get what you pay for.
at least you got a month. And honestly, those NES games, you can beat those in a sitting.
I would gladly play. I would gladly pay $60 a year, just like the Xbox or PlayStation,
Just to have them just like...
if I could either download them or if that led to a virtual console GameCube.
Yeah, and then because it would be smart to do it just like how PSN or Xbox does.
Yeah.
You could just download it, and even though you haven't played it and it's switched to new games, you still have it on your library.
Yeah.
You just have to have, of course, you have to have the service.
And now there's rumors that the Switch is going to have there's like a Switch version 2 coming out in 2019 that was going through some suppliers. There's absolutely nothing but speculation at this point, but supposedly it's going to have a better display and stuff like that.
So kind of like an Xbox.
It's like
One
a Switch
X or
Pro,
PS4
like a Switch Pro type thing. Yeah. I mean, for me, apart from E3, when we travel to E3, I have never played my Switch out of the dock. I play almost exclusively in the dock.
I would say so as well. I have traveled a little bit here and there. Ever since I've done a few road trips with friends. I've gone to like Miami. I've traveled on plane and everything, so I have used it. But yeah, I'm not.
If I'm at home and I don't,
I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Which I have to get the Pro controller because I've been exhausted. I've been like, I'm gonna enjoy these Joy-Con controllers and like to the fullest, and now I'm just like playing Mega Man 11.
Do you use the Pro controller at all?
No, I'm using the Joy-Con.
You don't have the Pro.
grip.
Do you not have the Pro controller?
No, I have not gotten a Pro
Okay.
controller. I've been like trying to save myself. Just like I don't. Need
I
it 'cause I have
played-
a controller.
Because when it first came out, Zelda was the launch time. I played the Joy-Con thing with Zelda, and I was like, "This is okay, I guess." As soon as I got the Pro controller, I've never gone back.
Oh, I would probably. I touched it and I felt it when I went to my friend's house.
And what really made me upset, and we were talking about this a little bit before we started, Super Mario Party does not support Pro controller. You have to use the Joy-Cons to play that game. And
I'm guessing because it's
because the mini games are all designed around the Joy-Con, so you can't use the Pro controller. That really upset me, and the fact that there's no online. I do.
Which is the one reason why it stopped me, like we were saying.
I do think it's a step in the right direction compared to 9 and 10. Mario Party 9 and 10.
Like 9 and 10 is everybody in a car. You roll dice for everybody.
Yeah.
It kind of like deferred the fact. It's like, okay, just imagine playing like Monopoly, and you all move once, and just one person like have like it's like a D&D where the dungeon master is just rolling the dice and decides the fate for everybody.
What was interesting about it was their logic for the car made sense on paper, because their logic was in Mario Party, in traditional Mario Party,
a lot of times people are they're not doing anything. They're just
you're just sitting around waiting for your turn. Whereas if you're in the car, everyone's engaged and you're all. It makes sense, but in practice, it was like I was like, I don't care.
There's a lot of moments in Mario Party that happen when somebody like misrolls or they screw up.
Yeah, and it's like, why should I have to suffer for his screw up? Like, yeah. So, but it's definitely a step in the right direction. But it's not all the way there yet. No. I think not having online was their biggest downfall.
Yeah,
I could look past.
That's the reason why if it had it online, I would buy it.
I could look past the Joy-Con.
Oh, I can.
But
it's just because it's Mario Party. There's not much function for me to do other than like some hard.
And I also get they're very much. I mean, they're Nintendo. It's very much, hey, get your friends over, local. I get it. That they've always been like that. Mm-hmm. But to just even have an option of online, it should be there. Because Smash. Imagine if Smash didn't have online.
That's like a sin.
It wouldn't.
Yeah. Okay. If Brawl had online, online.
Brawl had online, but that's being generous with the term.
Yeah,
it kind of worked for 5 minutes.
If a game can have online, then I'm pretty sure it's Switch.
Yeah, that's what I don't get. It's whatever. Have you played Dragalia Lost? Have you heard of that? So it's a new. So Nintendo's been doing more mobile games now. Mm-hmm. So it's and I don't know how much of a hand they had in this. I don't know if they were strictly publisher. Dragalia. D-R-A-G.
That sounds very JRPG.
It's I can't remember the actual term. I think they're called gotcha games, where it's D-R-A-G-A-L-I-A. Dragalia Lost.
Yeah, I found it.
It's the games where you use gems to like summon warriors, and you have like a random chance of getting like the rarer ones, and then you use those ones in battle. I've actually been kind of hooked to it.
I can see people losing money on this.
Yeah. What's interesting about it came out, I think, about 2 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. Ever since it came out, I've been playing it pretty nonstop. I still have not yet had the urge or felt the need to spend money on it,
That's good.
which is what I like. Like if I have to play it for 5 minutes and then go, oh, I guess I'm done for the
The
day.
only mobile game that I ever put like, not even did I ever put money on it? Maybe like once if I ever did.
Mm-hmm.
Was the Sonic Rush? There was a Sonic game.
Oh, did you play that?
Wait, it's literally
Sonic
just,
Run? Is that?
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
it's Temple Run, but you put a freaking hedgehog on.
Yeah.
it. And I logged like 15 hours on that, and all those 15 hours was me on the toilet. I was hooked.
That's a lot of poop.
Yeah, because a lot of times you're like, whenever you go to the bathroom, you're like, oh, I gotta do something. He's like,
It's either this or I'm reading the Lysol can
yeah,
here.
that's he's like
Directions: spray away from face. Okay, yeah.
like, yeah, that's how.
So it's a little more engaging
it's
than.
more engaging. I hate like this. Probably my pet peeve on myself is leaving my phone or anything.
That's everybody,
entertaining.
man. Nobody likes sitting on the toilet and then you just go, ah, crap. And then
There was there's been times where like I didn't have any Lysol or anything to like. I would just like play with the toilet paper, just slap it up and down.
We have become so
Neanderthal.
we've just become so like programmed to like
Yeah.
I have to have something to do.
Yeah.
If we don't, we're like,
Well, yeah,
oh.
that was like the whole concept with like the fidget spinner when it was created. It's just people like.
I had someone block me on Facebook because I argued with them that a fidget spinner is not a medical device.
No, it's not. It keeps you occupied.
I didn't
That's all
argue
that's
that there
all.
weren't benefits.
Oh, it just keeps you occupied. That's all I.
But she was like, it's a medical advice for people with it. And I'm like, sure, maybe they can use it, but that's not what it's for.
Yes, yeah, I could do it with my phone.
Remember fidget spinners?
That's it feels like we're talking about something like 10 years ago. That's
Like in the 90s. No, it was like what, a year? Maybe 2 years? I think it was
like
a year.
2 to 3.
I think it was a year ago because the Mixer booth at E3 last year, they were giving out fidget spinners. Are you Googling
Yeah, I'm Googling
fidget spinner? When
I'm
was
like,
the
when did
fidget
it
spinner
explode?
craze?
Oh my God!
Because I honestly don't remember.
There's a fidget spinner Google application where it's like when you do on Google.
Oh, jeez.
Oh my!
All the fun of a fidget spinner right on your phone.
This is where we do with the research money for technology.
I'm trying to think of some stupid apps that I used to. I remember like when iPhone first came out back in the 3G era. Actually, it was before 3G, but when I had one, it was 3G. Did you ever play Paper Toss?
Oh, yeah, with the trash can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just like, how far have we? I don't know if it's how far have we come or how far have we fallen.
No, it's funny.
Where I'm
because
just like,
whenever I played that game, I was actually working in an office and I had a paper and I had a trash can to throw, but I'm just like,
yeah, exactly.
because
It's
me throwing
beautiful.
the paper on the trash can, I would miss, and that would
Yeah.
require me to get up and try to put it in the trash.
And nobody
can.
wants to do that.
No, I was like,
If you miss on here, there's no consequences.
there's
You can just do it again. You might get angry and throw your phone at a wall, but
Oh, yeah, and then there would be like it'll get harder. They'll throw in the fan, like going like this, and like
yeah. You had to like account for the wind and what were we doing in 2009?
there's many things.
It was a lawless wasteland.
There's many things that we're still doing now that we're still like.
Like what?
That's how far we come.
What do you mean?
Just things in general. It's just like
Oh.
just memes. Just look at the memes.
Memes. I was talking to a friend of mine the other day. Memes have evolved. Remember when a meme?
The moth meme.
Remember when memes were just like a picture with like a radical background and
just-
heavy white
Just
impact
Photoshop,
text?
like paint text.
Well, yeah,
on it.
there was like Rage comics, yeah,
Yeah.
back then, yeah. But just remember when you had like the baby, the kid, and you had all these memes that were
Those
just
simple.
with
Like
the heavy
I
white.
remember my first meme. My first meme was Numa Numa guy.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was my first meme.
Do videos count as memes? I guess they do. Well,
Because people-
video formats count as memes
Yeah, because
now.
people use Vine with the Vine.
Yeah.
people rewatch
Rest
it,
in
like,
peace, Vine. Vine was the great. I think so many people had their creativity come out when Vine was a thing.
Yeah. Because it's like, oh, hey, try to be funny in a format, in a video format.
And you have
Helps
6
them.
seconds.
6 seconds, go.
And I
There's a lot of dumb.
I think the
there's a
only
lot of
reason.
dumb ones.
Well, yeah. I think the only reason it failed was there were no ads. There was no money because there were no ads. All they had to do was like in between videos, you know,
because
put an ad
like
drop.
when you're watching a Vine, they're very short bursts. So if you're just trying to watch something in short bursts and you have an ad that's longer than what you're trying to watch.
Well, no, but I'm saying like do you have Instagram?
No.
Well, like with Instagram, as you're scrolling through, or even on Facebook, as you're scrolling
yeah,
through,
yeah.
some things pop up like a news feed type thing, but it's an ad. Just they should have put those in Vine. Just something. Like that's all they had to do. But that's why they failed, is because there were no ad. There was no money. Yeah. I think they were owned by Twitter too.
Yes, they were.
Which is weird.
They have money.
They had Vine and they had Periscope. Do you remember Periscope for 2 weeks?
What was that?
It was like their. So you know how Twitch has like in real life streaming?
Yeah.
It was basically that.
Oh.
It was just that. It was a service just for that.
That's where you find the real snowflakes.
It was hot for 2 weeks. Like I remember listening to the radio and they're like, "Oh, you can check us out on Periscope right now. We're live." And I was like, "No, I think can you live stream to Twitter directly?"
Yeah.
Right, like they may have just taken Periscope and just integrated it into Twitter. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure they have it just because.
I'm curious now. Let's see.
Maybe because Twitter. Maybe Twitter was like they started on the whole Vine thing. It was like, oh, you can do that thing on our regular app.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know. I'm not big enough on Twitter to do it. Oh yeah, live. There's a live. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like Facebook.
What a time to be alive. I live streamed one time and it failed miserably because I had no signal. Well, actually, no. I live streamed at E3, and that worked. But the first time I ever tried to live stream, I was at the Paul McCartney concert last year.
Oh. And
in Emily Arena, there was no signal.
Oh yeah. Well,
So for like 2 seconds, it went and then it just died, and I was like, "All right, that was great. I'm so happy I live streamed."
I'm not one to like take like a bunch of videos, pictures. Like, I like to keep it to myself whenever I'm at a concert. But this year, I want to go see Phil Collins. He's my favorite singer of all time.
When's he coming here?
I don't know when he's coming here, but he went to Puerto Rico, and I saw him in March.
Oh, okay.
And
I love Phil Collins.
Yeah, he's my favorite. He's like my favorite.
Can we get Phil Collins on here?
But he's getting so old. Like he came in he had to sit down throughout the whole performance.
Did he really?
Yeah. But
well, I know he retired like a decade ago.
Well, yeah.
And then he was like, just kidding.
Yeah.
Because I think he's deaf in one ear. I think.
No, it's mainly something with his back.
Well, it's his back. I think he also has hearing. Has hearing
well,
problems.
like yeah, but all you have to do is just what's it called? The name of his tour is "I'm Not Dead Yet," or "Not Dead Yet" tour.
Billy Joel's going to be here the day before my birthday in January, so I'm probably going to go see Billy Joel. I've seen. It was him and Elton John. They did face to face.
Yeah, Elton John comes in November,
and that's his farewell. He's
farewell.
old now, because I saw Billy Joel and Elton John 8 years ago, I think, and it was funny because Billy was much more youthful. Like his piano would like spin as he was playing. So Elton, he was like rocking in his chair. Elton just sat there and played. But, I mean, he didn't. So he was showing his age then. So
yeah, that was 8 years ago.
And it's sad because he can't sing, because he used to do all the falsetto stuff. Go up 3 octaves. Now he can barely.
Well, yeah.
Which I mean is to be expected.
It comes with age. Like even Phil Collins, like he's still sang really well for his age and how far his vocals.
Someone I know someone who I think is very underappreciated, Kenny Loggins. Do you know who Kenny Loggins is? Danger Zone and Caddyshack. He did I'm Alright. I've seen live videos of him from like in the last year or so. He sounds exactly the same.
There's some that still sound.
It's amazing.
They're very rare.
Well, yeah.
Because one of my favorite bands is Def Leppard.
Yeah.
And I saw them live in 2011, so like 7 years ago, and you can hear the cigarette coming out of his throat. Like I still love the performance and everything, but
I hear Ed Sheeran does a really good concert.
Because it's not my type of music. But.
Well, see, I can respect the man as a musician because I think he's much more of what I would consider a musician compared to most modern artists. And apparently his concerts is just him and a guitar.
Oh yeah.
Which I think would be really cool.
Yeah, but there's not much.
A la MTV's Unplugged. Which I love.
I've seen Unplugged before. The first one I saw was Eric Clapton, like in the 90s.
Paul McCartney he's good, but he definitely can't hit all those notes anymore. But he's Paul McCartney, so you're like, who cares? I mean, he's Paul friggin' McCartney. He can do whatever he wants.
Speaking of Paul McCartney, let's go back to E3.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the segue here?
That was a segue.
The segue was speaking of Paul McCartney. Let's go back to E3.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm pretty sure he's been there before. So
well, he was actually. He was at E3. I'm gonna say 2011, 2010, 2011. Xbox 360 had Beatles Rock Band, and they had a live demo of it. And then Paul McCartney and Ringo Starr both came out on the press conference. What was funny though was you could tell neither of them had probably ever touched a video game in their life, because Ringo said, and I quote, "The game is good. The graphics are very good. We look great." And that was his whole pitch for Beatles Rock Band.
Oh, God.
And I was like, oh, Ringo, I love you, but you're clearly not a video game spokesperson.
Just stick to the drumming.
Yeah. So that was interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, let's go through.
So 2018, what was your favorite? All right, let's talk E3 first. What was your favorite E3 2018 game?
Okay. In terms of the whole experience, would be Resident Evil 2.
That's because that one had a whole. You want to explain what the Resident Evil one was?
Okay.
Because it's special.
Okay, so pretty much how it was is they actually made a model of the police station from Resident Evil 2. And so you see the Raccoon City Police Department and everything. And then there's two, like, go through a long line. It was hard to get into this game. Like, you had 2 tries. There's 2 lines for each day. If not, so I luckily, like, the last day I rushed and got there. It took me like 3 hours to get in, but I got in. So pretty much when you went in front of the door, there was a lady with a flashlight, and she just hands it to you, and she's like, "Good luck." I'm like, "Wait, what?" And then you open the door.
She just goes, "Here.
Good luck." I'm like,
you know what you're in line for.
Yeah, and then I open the door, and then it takes me like 2 seconds to realize what I've gotten myself into. Because
you waited, might I add, 4 hours?
Yeah, because I was like, I forgot my Switch that day, my 3DS. I didn't bring anything, so I was just on my phone. And I had like 20% left. I'm like, I can't use it for the rest of the day. So I was just like looking to like the crowds and seeing what they were doing.
Meanwhile, I'm running around with Aaron Stevie.
Oh yeah,
shout out to Steebs.
Yeah, because by that time we pretty much played the last day.
Because I was in. Yeah, we had done almost everything we wanted to do.
Yeah, okay, that's like a superstition that E3 has. Like, oh, you won't be able to play games. As somebody who's been there twice, I've been able to play every single game.
If you know where to go,
yeah,
and you know who to talk to, and you can get it. You can get it done. You can get it done.
I both years I've been able to play every single game that I wanted to
by the last day, we're kind of hanging out.
Yeah,
for the most part. But yeah, it was the last day. I actually went and played Kingdom Hearts again because I'd already done everything I wanted to do.
We'll get into that.
We'll get to that.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so I go into the police department, and then all I see is like a dimmed hallway. It looks like a corridors and everything. I'm like, oh shit, this is the actual. This is the actual police department, and I'm just like with a flashlight and everything. I'm like, oh, somebody's gonna pop up and try to eat me, and I'm just like looking around and everything. I'm just like, oh crap, and first there was I finally like probably like a minute of walking. I finally popped into a zombie. It was just cool. It was just the whole experience. You went through the whole thing. There was like a dead zombie. I like kicked it to see if it was alive. It was just fake, but
that would have been bad. You just
it was like
stomped him in the nuts,
crap.
And he's like, oh god.
Like, they don't pay you too much to do this.
Yeah, no, they don't.
And then
at the
end, and the funny part is, I go through, and then at the end, there's like a dimmed like door, and you go through it, and the light, and that's where all the demos are. So all you see is just people coming in like this, like, and then
like ready for a jump.
A guy receives like, congratulations, you went through the demo. I was like, huh? And there's some people that were just like legit scared, like, I don't want to go through there. Just get me through the demo. I just want to play the game, and that's it.
At that point, you're like ready to hug the guy. You're like, oh.
But yeah, and then after that,
I probably would have sprinted through that.
Yeah, and then after that, I was able to sit down and play the game. And they had it. It was like the police department. I sat down on the desk. It had like crumpled out newspaper with like blood on it, with pencils around, like broken and everything. It was just dope. The whole experience that I went through. It was the most I've seen a booth put in like that much work. Other than like Bethesda at E3, they put in a lot of work at their booths, but a lot of times you don't even get to play the game.
Is it?
It's just like an experience.
Is Resident Evil 2, is it first person?
Yes. No, it's not first person.
It's the fixed camera, just like the original.
Yeah, just like the original.
Okay.
It's way less tanky.
What's that?
It's way less tanky controls.
Oh, okay.
So it's not like...
Okay. Yeah, let me...
moves. No. Okay,
yeah.
So it's like adjusted controls.
Okay, that's cool.
It was good. It was a lot of fun, and the game just played well. It was actually scary and everything. I like, poof. Like, I actually get scared.
And I've seen some of the images, and I'm like, this looks terrifying.
Yeah.
Because I can play... See, I can't play any horror games ever, but I can play, like, PS1, Resident Evil 2. I can play those, but seeing the new one, I'm like, I know I can play the original, but I don't think I can play it.
Yeah, but yeah, what's it called? That's one of my friends. Shout out to Daniel.
I played PT.
He can't play through anything. Like, even he has to have somebody through Discord or like through Skype. Rest in peace, Skype, whoever uses it. But
that's a name I haven't heard in 10 years.
Actually, just recently, my friend is like, my Discord's not working. You want to use Skype? It was like, What?
That's like when you open Internet Explorer on accident, and you're like, oh.
It's kind of like a Zelda chest. You just open it. It's like,
No. But it's like instead of a treasure, it's just dusty and
it's like,
yeah.
but yeah.
He has to have someone coach him.
He can't get past through any horror game. Like we went through the Bendy and Ink Machine. Have you heard about that game?
What game?
Bendy and the Ink Machine.
Yes.
So it's kind of like it's very inspired like Five Nights at Freddy's, but it's not like it. It's like a 5-minute demo. It took him like 2 hours to go through. It took me 10 minutes.
That'd be me too.
But yeah. But I'm one of those people.
I empathize.
I like the thrill.
Sympathize. I don't know.
But yeah, that was probably my favorite experience of E3. But my favorite game that I played,
Smash. Maybe.
Yeah, Smash.
Smash or Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, Kingdom Hearts was the most gratifying.
Now we gotta talk about Kingdom Hearts because if you aren't in the know, Kingdom Hearts to get there was a trial, a challenge.
There was a line for the line.
There was a line for the line, and if you stood in that line for the line, they got mad at you because you were blocking traffic and it was a fire hazard. You had to talk to the right people, say the right thing, do the right thing. It was about a 4-hour wait, which I waited in on the third day only because, one, I was hanging out with someone who I admired and looked up to, and I thought it was cool.
And you already played.
And I'd already done everything else I wanted to do, so I was like, let me just hang out with her and play it again. Why not? But on day 2, we waited 20 minutes to play Kingdom Hearts 3.
Because of what people did not know is that...
And we didn't know this either on day 1.
Until we were walking out the day after.
So
the day before.
So a little bit of backstory to this. This year, Xbox pretty much said, screw the ESA, screw E3.
And got their own place.
They own the theater right next to the LA Convention Center. They said, we're just going to have our own party here.
Which literally takes like a minute or two to walk there.
Yeah, I mean, right next door. And so what they, in LA Live. And so in their own building, they had all their systems set up with all their games and demos. And on the outside, it was just a ton of Xbox logos blocking out the windows. So you couldn't see inside at all.
So you thought it was like some official thing that you
looked
like a special pass.
Yeah, it looked like a VIP or a company type event, something that you couldn't get into.
And then we noticed because we were walking through the convention and we're like, where's Xbox?
Where's all the Xbox? Yeah.
Because usually it's Xbox, so they have a really big booth. They used to be in the South Hall.
Yeah, they used to have,
Nintendo
and Sony were side by side in the West, and then you go to South, and that was really where Xbox was taking over.
And
this year, it wasn't like
space
that.
There. And then we go there, and then Square Enix was taking place. Took their place that time.
Yeah, it was about the end of day 1. We were like, do you see Xbox in there?
Like, no.
Where's Xbox?
And then we're walking out of the convention center, and then we see the Xbox logos along the
Microsoft,
theater. And then we're like, let's go. It's like, is this the Xbox? Like, yeah. I was like, oh, we're closed, but we open at 9 in the morning.
And we're like, who can get in? They're like, oh, you're an E3 attendee? Yeah, y'all can get in. And we're like,
I was like,
okay.
And just to let you know, we couldn't get into the actual convention until 12. So we pretty much had a 3-hour leeway to just go into the Xbox booth early in the morning and just play.
So day 2, we get up at, here's what I love about traveling to California, coming from East Coast. 7 a.m., you're up and ready to go because your body thinks it's 10. Yeah. And you don't have to worry about sleeping in because your body just naturally wakes up. Mm-hmm. And so, like, we were up at 7 a.m. every morning. We were right down the street from a Chick-fil-A.
God bless Chick-fil-A.
That Chick-fil-A saved our lives because we had breakfast there. We had a big breakfast every morning there. And then we'd walk down Figueroa Street to the convention center. We'd be there all day. And so, we get there early. We're in line. We get inside. And I think we were there.
We were there the first day.
We were there at the end of the first day.
And the first day, we're like, okay, and we went in.
And so, that was when we figured it out. And then we go. There were 2 floors, and so we get downstairs to the bottom floor.
And then just like these 2 booths at the corner, and then we're like, that's Kingdom Hearts.
And that's where Kingdom Hearts, because Kingdom Hearts is now on Xbox as well as PlayStation, and which felt odd, mind you, but it worked. I got to play it. So, but the first day it was going to be a 2-hour wait, and the building wasn't open for 2 more hours.
Yeah, because
we were out of time.
They had 2 booths, but they only had 2 booths to play. So even if there was a line, it was going to take a while because they let you play both demos.
And the demo itself, if you didn't skip all the cutscenes or anything, because there were a ton of cutscenes, it was like a 30-minute. I mean, it was a full-fledged. It was a long demo.
Yeah, it was like probably like 10 minutes each.
Yeah. If you skipped all the cutscenes, you got through both of them in no time. But if you didn't skip any cutscenes, it was like a 30-minute
You know, I remember because I took my time with the first one, and the dude was just like, "All right, you gotta hurry up." And I'm like, "All right," and like he was kind of telling me, just like, "Joe only play one demo." I'm like, I looked at him, I look at the menu. I'm just like, Toy Story.
You're like, oh no, there's another one.
Oh no, whatever.
Whatever.
And I just like skipped through the cutscenes. I did it really fast. And I was just like looking back, and everybody's just staring at me. I was like, I'm just gonna keep playing. But yeah, but it was a lot of fun. It played a lot like Kingdom Hearts 2, but it was like
it feels just like Kingdom Hearts. It really does.
Yeah,
like I never left, which is good.
A little less tanky, kind of like jump controls, how like Kingdom Hearts 2 was than the other ones.
What's weird for me is because Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy 15 sort of have a very I would say a very similar combat system on the ground on the surface, and so I got used because I probably put 80 hours into Final Fantasy 15.
Oh, I platinumed that game.
Yeah, I did too. And so, you got to hold R1 to lock on and do all this. And then after I beat that, I went to go play Kingdom Hearts 0.8, the one that has Aqua.
Yeah, which is like 30 minutes.
It's like a 30-minute. And I'm trying to play it like Final Fantasy 15, and I'm doing all these weird actions.
Yeah, because to hit, it's the X, and to jump, it's the circle.
Yeah, but I'm trying to like lock on, and I forget you don't have to. And it was just really weird, and I couldn't transition over. It was kind of frustrating, but...
Well, a little backstory, just so you guys know, if through the podcast and everything, or just to know me a little bit more, I love Final Fantasy. Like
Ian, just a little
bit. Just these tattoos, them Cloud, Vivi, and like Sephiroth up here.
That's just because it was free real estate.
Yeah, it was free real estate.
It's free,
so I just got
free real estate.
I really like Final Fantasy and Pokemon, which is
who doesn't
the rest of my Pokemon.
Are you playing Pokemon Go still?
Huh? No, I have not. No.
That game, I didn't realize how much that game has changed since it launched.
A lot of people still play it. I have a lot
because I was talking to someone who is currently playing it, and I was telling him, I was like, "Oh, I used to play." I realized, I guess they're adding the new gen Pokemon, and they're removing the old ones. Is what it sounds like.
That would
it doesn't sound like they're expanding, but rather they're like, okay, now it's the Gen 2's time. That's what she made it sound like.
I don't think.
But it was weird because I was like, oh yeah, I was like back in the day when I was playing, I caught like a Poliwrath and a Gengar, and she's like, what are you talking about? No, you can't. And I was like, what? I was like, what do you mean? She's like, no, you can't catch evolved forms anymore. You have to catch the base form. You have to catch a bunch of them and then use the candy. I was like, man, when I played, and apparently you don't battle in gyms anymore. Apparently they're just there, I guess.
Yeah, they're just raids.
It's like it's a totally different game from when I play. I'm curious. Like, I'm gonna have to go back and
I would have to
try it out.
I have a lot of close friends that still play it. I would have to ask them to see how it really is.
Perfect game to kill your phone battery.
Yeah, and then
that's why I didn't play it for the longest time because I was like, I'm not trying to go from 90 to 50% in an hour.
But it was a lot of fun. Well, I remember the first day I got it. I literally got it like the first 5 minutes. It was in the App Store.
Summer 2016 was the closest we've ever been to world peace.
Yeah, because everybody was together.
Because of Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
It was amazing. You'd go somewhere and everyone was just staying around.
Doesn't matter what age.
And you just had to walk up and be like, "Oh, you playing Pokemon Go? Hey, what's up?"
It was like the Pokemon
it was the most
all over again.
Beautiful thing I'd ever seen, and it's gone.
Yeah, no. As like a very big Pokemon fan, it felt very therapeutic, kind of like nostalgic. Seeing all that, 'cause it felt like I was back in the '90s.
Are you excited for Let's Go? Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee.
I played it at E3. If it's very toned down. It's very much feels like Pokemon Go on.
I'm not hyped for it in the fact of like, oh my gosh, we're getting the next Pokemon. It's more of a, okay, we're getting another Pokemon.
Yeah,
it's Pokemon. It'll be fun.
The thing that is gratifying to me, like to play it. Well, first I have a full completed collection of every Pokemon game. Like boxing complete in my house. So
I thought you meant you had caught every Pokemon in every single game.
Yes, I have. No,
you probably have.
That's pretty
it's
mental.
Okay. But somebody out there has.
I'm sure the people who just grind
and
IVs and EVs,
and they're very lonely.
Yeah, that's why you don't see them because they're.
Yeah, well, that's why they're not here because they're playing catching Pokemon.
But yeah, so I pre-ordered both versions. Am I gonna play both versions? No, but I pre-ordered one version, the regular, and I pre-ordered the special edition that comes with the Pokeball. That you don't. That's so weird to me that you can play the whole game with one button.
Yeah, it is kind of weird how they design
the button moves, so that's why you directions and then press the button. Which honestly, well, if you think about it, you can play any Pokemon game with a button.
Yeah,
you just have to press like star or something like that. So it'll be weird. I have to see how it goes. But
are you excited for Country Roads Take Me Home? Oh, I'm sorry, I mean Fallout 76.
I actually thought you were talking about the song.
I mean,
Oh, what, I thought you were referencing what we.
I'm
listened
always
today.
excited for Country Roads by John Denver.
So this year that was our
E3 theme.
I was an E3
theme song.
Like every year both years we've had like a theme going around it. The first year was Kojima.
Did you
write it? That was the first thing.
I think we had a theme song last year too. I don't remember what it was, but
we usually always pick a themes or a song related to one of the conferences that we watch.
So what happened with this one was the E3 Fallout 76 had Country Roads, and so on day one of E3, I kicked down your bedroom door at 6 a.m. blasting Country Roads,
and then all you see is me just laid down dead, and I know it's happening, but I'm like fake sleeping, and then right when it hits the chorus, I'm just like.
But of course, we can't talk about E3 without talking about our good friend Danny.
Oh, Danny, hi! I'm pretty sure you're watching this.
Danny, I hope you're listening to this. I can't wait to tell everyone your stupid drunk ideas. So, it's not much of a secret to those who know me that I was pretty fond of G4 back in the day, and that with the VGX7, I'm trying to work towards building a G4-esque platform.
I'm pretty sure we'll get there.
So we'll get there. We're working on it, and by you can click subscribe to help us.
Yeah, just click the like button or just
hit that
share,
like, share.
That's the
like,
that's probably more important than subscribe.
Do whatever.
Still do that.
Do whatever makes you happy.
But share.
Do
more
whatever
people
makes
see
you
it.
happy.
More people like it.
But our good friend Danny, who the man I've known since high school, has a master's in mechanical engineering,
but nowhere close in directions.
And I've reduced him to a production assistant intern here with VGX7, which is kind of funny because E3 for him was kind of like, oh snap, this is what I want to be a part of, which is really kind of what it did for me. That's
what we all want to be. I don't see
Well, at first I was like, I want to be industry, and then I was like, no, wait, I hate everything that has to do with software development. I suck at it. So then I was like, okay, I can talk about it all day.
Yeah.
I can do that. So then I sort of veered course a little bit, but Danny, poor Danny, the guy has master's in mechanical engineering, and he gets lost going down a straight road.
I don't know why. Like, I'm an engineer major as myself, and you have to deal with scalars and vectors. If you don't know,
don't worry about it.
It has to do with direction. So he has to deal with that a lot. He has studied about it, but he doesn't know where to go. We were his parents during this trip.
I felt like a chaperone.
Yes.
And I'm surprised he didn't get lost in Atlanta.
But my favorite part...
Because his flight got delayed in Atlanta.
Oh, that was fun.
And I was like, well, I guess Danny's just going to live there now because there's no way he's going to make it back.
What's it called? My favorite part is like whenever we lost him and then we found him, all you see is like a joyous, happy face. Like,
he's just kind of wandering around.
Waddling around, like minding his own business. And they was like, oh, hey, guys.
Oh, hey. I went over there because I saw the thing. And And so last night, drunk Danny is texting me on Facebook Messenger, again, of all things. And he's like, okay, I got it. Or actually, no, he opens with, hey, I'm a little drunk, but he misspelled drunk. And he goes, but I got an idea. We'll call it G5. And then I just didn't respond. He goes, no, wait, G42. I was like, Danny, please. And then this morning he goes, I still think G5 was a great idea. I'm like, Danny, please don't stand by your stupid drunk ideas.
No,
I can't support you forever.
I'm very much looking forward to if he comes to next year's E3.
Next year's E3 is going to be lit.
Yes, it will. What?
As far as I know,
every E3.
Every E3 is lit.
It's lit. It's just going to be a different type of lit.
Especially if we get press passes, which you can help by supporting the podcast.
Yes.
Patreon.com/VGX7TV.
Just share. That's probably the most important thing. It's probably more important now than it was before. Is sharing.
Yeah, because now we know what we're doing, kind of.
Yeah.
We don't know what we're doing fully, but this is a heck of a lot better than what it was a year ago.
A year ago, we were in a secluded room. It was like small.
We were in a closet.
Were sweating.
We were in a closet, drenched in sweat. We had one microphone in the middle of the table.
We were all trying to like talk about above it, and then out of nowhere at the end, we're like, all right, we got it, cool. A day after, yeah. So you know the Audacity.
Make sure you really eat that mic, by the way.
Oh, yeah. I'm
From
pretty sure
they've
heard everything about it. Jesus. But yeah, so we were doing the app, and they were like, where was it? The day after, you're like, so yeah, all about that.
Oh yeah,
podcast.
Audacity's a piece of crap.
Yeah, and they were like, we lost the whole podcast.
I don't know if it's the laptop or the program, but especially because we do video. If we did audio, it wouldn't be too bad. I could manage, but because we do video and I have to sync it manually, it would randomly just skip 15, 20 seconds here and there.
Oh.
And so then I would have to like go back and match where it skipped in the video.
Oh, that's
and then
that's a lot of work.
Yeah, and I was like, that's why we stopped doing them, because I was like, this isn't worth it. It's a pain in the butt. The random skips are unprofessional. They looked stupid.
It would be funny if we're saying all this crap and we're still using it.
Oh wait, I didn't hit record. No.
For like a split second, my heart just went.
That's some crap I would do though. Let's be honest.
I've
I've had some fun filming Ultimate Gaming episodes where
you're just talking to like literally nothing.
I'm talking to nothing, or the board's not plugged in. I think you know what? I did have one episode where the mixer was not plugged into the laptop, and so I hit record to do for the audio, and it just never recorded because it was never plugged.
So it's
like it was on, but it just wasn't
recorded.
plugged into the computer.
Oh, that's cute.
That's why I need a production assistant. Ashley, get over here.
Or just Daniel.
Or whoever. I mean, at this point, I'll take anyone. Just all you gotta do is sit here with some headphones, look pretty,
Just press buttons.
be funny. I don't know. You even gotta be pretty.
Yeah, well, we can.
You could be
like,
Danny.
We can have like a third camera. Like
That's what we
eventually they could talk to us too.
We'll get there.
We'll get there.
I need another one of these.
Step at a
You
time.
know how much these babies are at retail? $400.
Oh, it's big.
You know how much this stupid arm is? $100.
What about the little nut that took us?
Oh, a little nut. That thing is priceless, apparently, because it took 3 weeks for me to track that thing down. I went to Lowe's and Home Depot, and I was like, I need this.
Yes.
And the guys both just kind of like, I don't know. And they're like, we don't have that.
Yeah, and this is like mind you, this was like probably like 2 hours before we were gonna film.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like
I had all this gear. I had the cameras, the tripods, the mixer, the mics, the mic arms. I had it all packed in my car, ready to go. And then I realized, wait a minute, I can't find the nut anywhere for the arm. I can't screw this onto the, because a few months ago when I was doing the podcast with my friend Steven, he would just like hold this mic and it looked so weird. And I was like, I don't want anyone to be having to
so
hold.
it's just like you're just holding like a giant snow cone.
I could go for a snow cone.
It's like a large black licorice snow cone.
Are you a pineapple on pizza kind of man?
No.
Good.
No,
I
we'll
almost
have-
kicked you off the podcast.
yeah, no, none of those people will be on this
None of those people will
podcast,
be on this
no.
podcast.
You could be our audio assistant, but you won't be
Yeah,
on the
you
podcast.
can do the other work, but
But yeah, back to E3.
back to you.
We're talking about pineapple.
You're a segue master. You
Well,
know
yeah, of
that?
course. Like, I can like literally sit here and like talk about anything.
I could.
throughout the whole day. That's what's so fun about these. It's like,
You excited for Black Ops? Comes out tonight.
I
I didn't know it came out tonight until a
Oh, yeah,
friend of mine told me.
I knew. I played the beta. It was fun. It was Fortnite, but with content. That's what I thought it was.
Fortnite with content.
Yeah.
Well, you get what you pay for.
Yeah, I would say so. It was fun just because I'm more used to Call
Remember
of
when
Duty.
Fortnite was first announced
Yeah, it was
at the Video Game
yeah.
Awards like 4 years ago?
It's a tower defense game.
And it was tower defense. And we didn't see gameplay. We just saw like the cinematic. And we were like, oh, okay.
And then we saw it a little bit later.
And then you didn't hear anything about it. And then all of a sudden it came out. And then it was the biggest game in the world
Well, yeah,
because it
but-
had
but
Battle
because- no,
Royale and it was
because
free.
it came out. And then
Well, I think when it first came
PUBG
out-
was doing his thing, and then
Yeah.
Fortnite was like, we should probably do that too.
Yeah.
And now we don't hear about PUBG at all,
Yeah.
just because.
Apparently, Fortnite is still not the number one game. Apparently, it's still Minecraft. Even after all this time and all this hype, apparently it's still Minecraft.
It has more platforms. It's had more.
That's
time to grow
true.
and
It's on everything. I think it's on Switch, too.
That's actually weird to think, just
think.
because Fortnite's free, Minecraft isn't.
Yeah. But also, Minecraft's what? $20? At least it used to
It's
be.
not-
I have
it's
no
not
idea
really
what it
that
is
much.
now.
Yeah, no. It's probably definitely in the 20 range.
Yeah.
I don't think it's any more.
It's
than
not a
that.
$60 game. I hope not.
I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of little kids.
I don't want to
still
live in a
buy it.
world where Minecraft is $60.
60 bucks.
I don't want to be
Like
on-
their marketing ploy just to make it $60. It's like, look at all these updates and stuff.
I have an idea. Let's just raise the price.
It's like they're still gonna buy
The
it.
kids will just nag their parents more. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They'll
It's
just do whatever.
It's like I'm tired of playing Roblox. I want to be a big kid. I want to play Minecraft.
I used to play Roblox
I used
like 12 years ago.
Like
Back when they weren't-
I heard about it and I saw it. No, 12 years ago, Club Penguin was my thing.
See, I was never a Club Penguin kid. I
was.
played Toontown for all of 5 minutes before it died. Remember Toontown?
Yes.
The Disney MMO? I played that a little bit. I played Maple Story.
Maple Story's still up.
Well, now there's MapleStory 2, and it's like a 3D, like a 2.5 type.
Yeah. Now it's actually like 3D.
Isometric. Yeah. It's one of those. I haven't played that. I'm trying to think what else. I played Combat Arms.
Never heard of that one.
It was like a free Counter-Strike type game, basically. It was made by the same Nexon, same guys who did MapleStory.
No, I didn't.
What else did I play online? Well, see, it's funny, as a kid, I didn't have a concept of system requirements, so I just put anything on my laptop and just blew it up and fried it.
There's a reason. Yeah.
Graphics cards, what are those?
Oh no, you just played. I was like, oh, this looks like it will run.
Oh, those are expensive things.
I remember when I was little.
Mine Bitcoin.
When I first downloaded WoW, that was a funny story. I downloaded it. It took me like a whole day because I was sick. I stayed home from school. I downloaded it. I played it, and it was just some. I remember I started it. I was just looking around. I just saw this one dude on a horse pop out of the water, and then he just asked me like the most weirdest, like creepy question. I'm just like, I'm gonna log off. I just saw some dude come out of the water on a horse and he asked him a creepy ass question. And I was like,
he's like, look at your man, now back at me.
And I was like, I'm
on a horse.
As like an 11-year-old, I'm just like, I'll pass.
ASL, age, sex, location. Is that what he asked you? Did he send you funny pictures that made you feel weird?
I don't.
Did he ask you for funny pictures?
No.
Okay.
How would I even send pictures on WoW chat?
I don't know. Maybe he gave you his email. He was like,
he probably made his
hey,
AOL messenger. Send
me these pictures to email. I'll give you $500 right now. Ooh. Little 11-year-old Ian was like, yeah, I'll do that.
Let's talk about 11-year-old Ian. That E3.
You are truly the greatest.
Where do we? Okay, we left out of Daniel. That was fun. But yeah, what was your favorite game? Was it Smash?
Probably Smash.
Smash.
This year's E3 kind of felt sparse, especially on Sony's end.
Oh no, Sony's end was horrible.
I mean, Nintendo's kind of the same way, but Nintendo has now sort of taken on the theme each year where they really devote to one
big game.
And
they're just like, hey, just play on the other side.
2016 was Zelda.
2017
was Odyssey, and then this year was Smash. So it's kind of expected of them. But Sony, they had 4 games, and you had to have appointments for them.
Okay, they have 4 games, but it was only really one. The only one was Spider-Man, which was actually the first game I played.
Right.
Because if I wanted to pick, I would play Smash first. But they were doing the what's it called? The schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Where you get schedule.
Yeah, you had to use the app to schedule your
appointment.
And the appointments would fill up in 2 minutes.
Yeah, but I scheduled it for the second day. So the first day it was more like a free ball, just like whatever I can get into.
I was interviewed by PlayStation, and I never found the interview. I don't know if they didn't use it.
That happens a lot because I remember I was interviewed when I was little for like Spider-Man when Spider-Man 2 came out. I was interviewed. Was Spider-Man 2?
But what's weird is like I never even saw like the segment.
Oh, you don't know. A lot of times they just use it.
I never even saw like. I never saw anyone get interviewed.
It's probably like some obscure.
They probably just scrapped.
Probably some obscure PlayStation blog video that you have to look for.
Yeah, because they were asking me some questions. You know, what do you think of the our E3 booth and our space? Have you played any games? You know, and I BS'd my way through it because I was still waiting for Spider-Man because I hadn't played it yet. But in fact, I mentioned Smash in it, which is probably why they didn't use it. But
Smash. Oh, I mean Spider-Man.
I really love Nintendo games. They're my favorite. Hi, Sony.
So you just turn the camera.
Yeah,
around.
just look over there. That's where my favorite games are. Right over there.
The big red.
This stuff here, you know I don't care about.
You just grab the cameras. Like,
here,
just come with me. Come with me.
Let's go over here and play some real games.
All they had was Spider-Man.
They had Spider-Man.
They had Spider-Man. Okay, they had 3 more games.
They had
but
Destiny.
It was Destiny, FIFA, Call of Duty.
That was it.
I'm not going to E3 to play
any of those.
So it was literally only one game I wanted to play. Only one.
But yeah, it was just weird because they didn't have any.
Last year they had a bunch of small games you could play and everything.
Yeah, we played.
It's still we
played Knack 2.
Oh yeah, we played because it was co-op.
Yeah, we played co-op. Those when they had Detroit.
Yeah, that one was a reservation. I got the reservation.
And they had like the actors.
Oh yeah, like they were actually like acting like androids.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
But like me being a big Sony guy, like I would say both E3s they had the most disappointing.
They're kind of underwhelming.
Yeah, it was just like it's mainly really just one big game.
Xbox knocked it out of the park this year.
Oh yeah, just because they had their own.
I think they had the best conference.
Oh yeah,
them
best
or
conference
Ubisoft.
for sure. Because for me, my most anticipated game right now is Devil May Cry 5, just because that's I just like edgy,
Every-
cool.
Everyone likes
I just wanna
edgy,
do cool shit
cool.
in my games.
You ever see a Facebook comment section? Everyone likes edgy, cool.
Yeah, like that's like.
Everyone likes to be a jerk. Sometimes they go too
that's
far.
like one of my favorite things in the game. It's so stupid and so minuscule, but it makes a game for me. Like in Devil May Cry 5, they announced that you get more stylish points. There's a taunt button,
Uh-huh.
and you can combo and mid taunt. So you can taunt, and if you taunt mid combo, it gives you more points. Like just stupid.
I'm
small
for
stuff like
that.
that. I was like, that's just it gravitates me more towards the game. I already want to play it, but
Right. But no, I mean, that'll be fun. And that's the sexiest logo I've ever seen.
I remember we were watching.
We
it.
saw, when that logo came up, we're all like,
Well,
ooh.
It was spicy, and then
They earned their paycheck with
they
that
saw the
one.
Logo, they saw the logo, and then they put the actual background with Nero, Dante, and the new dude, like in the foreground. And
Yeah, the new dude who we thought was a villain.
Yeah, we thought
the
it was
way
gonna
they
be-
presented him.
I thought it was just gonna be Virgil, but no, some new dude. I forgot his name.
I don't know his name either. I forgot.
I think it was like a one-letter name. I'm pretty sure.
I don't remember. But no, Xbox came out and they're like, hey, you want games? Here, have all the games.
No, they had PlayStation.
And that makes sense why they had their own space at E3 because they used every inch of it for a ton of games.
Mm-hmm.
The thing I think that surprised me the most having a big line was Sea of Thieves because I never really held an interest in that.
Mm-hmm.
But the game that still eludes me to this day is Crackdown 3. Because last year Nathan and I both were trying to play that.
Wait, I was there. We had
Were you trying to
we
get
had
to
to
it
go
too?
around.
Yeah, because they queued the line. They cut it off because they were trying to traffic
Yeah, so
control.
there was like it was the booths for the games. It was like this one like long rectangle like space, and then people would walk around it.
Yeah,
But you couldn't like stand in the middle.
you couldn't stand in the aisle because
So after if it filled up, you had to keep walking. So we're just us walking around like idiots, waiting for the line. And like after that,
and even I think on the final day last year, Nathan and I went straight there, or at least I went straight there, and I still couldn't. Like it had already been. There was enough people in front of me that.
yeah, one of those things like if the games you want to play the most at E3, those are the ones you rush to whatever day you have.
I really hope. I would almost next year they kind of do like Tokyo Game Show, where the first day just let the press have it completely, and then the second and third day let us in earlier.
Well, unless we get media passes, then,
Unless
then
the
it does
podcast
not
works
matter.
out and we can
It
get
does
in.
not matter in any way possible.
Because that was horrible. Was just hey, stand out in the sun for 2 hours in this line
and then when you get in,
and sweat your
there's more lines,
balls off.
and all these people are already in the line because they've been hours. So you have to.
In fact, that GameStop had the most uncoordinated thing that we took part in. So if you donated a game, could be any
Donate my
game.
Mega Man game. I want it back.
What game did you donate?
Battle Network 5.
I love Battle Network.
I know, but it's
Such
like
a good
But it's like $15 on eBay. So I'm like, I can just get
Just buy another one.
Yeah.
But I mean, that was the thing for me too. Was I didn't. What was it? I think I spent like $5 on the bargain bin at the Target down the street.
Yeah, so it was
Fantasia for $3.60.
Yeah, so they were doing like a donation thing where if you donated a game, you would get in like 10, 15 minutes 30 minutes in before everybody else. It was BS. You got into the convention center. Or you got to hang out.
We were supposed to get in 30 minutes into the convention center before everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, we got in 10 minutes before everyone else, and we still had to go stand outside in the heat waiting just to get. It was terrible. The whole thing sucked.
Yeah.
It wasn't worth it at all.
It was worth it the last day. Because the last day, since everybody got in at the same time.
Oh yeah.
They actually let you in the convention center before everybody else. So if they're gonna do it again next year, I would actually do
Start
it
buying
for
your
the
cheap
last
games
year.
now.
So yeah, I'll go to
Go buy your $3-5.
Go, Sears is closing down, so I'm gonna go to their bargain bin and.
They don't even have games anymore.
Oh.
Go to Walmart. You know those stupid PC games they have where it's like 501.
I'm pretty sure you can find like a bunch of PC box games.
Yeah, exactly. Just give them a copy of like, I don't know, what's a NFL 94 for Super Nintendo. You know, go find a
That's
find a
one
99
of the things.
cent.
That's one of the things. Like I went and asked. I'm like, how much does the game has to be worth to donate?
Or
And
how
like,
old does it have to? Because
Yeah.
they didn't tell us.
Yeah, no, they tell you just like it could be any game.
But
so.
they took a Game Boy Advance game, so I mean, it seemed like it was pretty free reign. I should have came in with like an Atari 2600 game. Here's an ET. You're welcome, kid.
Now give me the ticket.
I'll take my ticket now. Thank you. Kevin, if you're watching, get me in early next year. I'll do anything. I'll move to LA and put up with Alex.
That would be fun.
It would be.
That's where we want to be. That's where we're in the video game industry. That's all I want to do.
I just want to talk about video games all day. Is that too much to ask for?
That's what we're doing right now.
Jared, you know Jared Petty from Kind of Funny, and formerly, I believe, of IGN. Yeah. He talked about one time. He's like, in reality, I get paid way too much to just talk about video games. He's like, I probably get paid more than anyone should ever get paid to talk about video games. But I'm like, it's true, but at the same time, there's got to be. I mean, it's like somebody's got to do it.
Yeah,
there's got to be an
like
entertainment value.
Yeah.
But I'm glad we stepped it up a notch too, because
it gives it more of a visual.
I love supporting smaller podcasts and like local podcasts, but some of them it's like if the audio's no good, I can't listen to it. I'm such a professional.
Like how we were doing it a year ago. It's just like,
well, that's the thing, and that's why half of those episodes never went out. Was because I would listen to it and I'd be like, I'm not putting that out. No one's gonna listen to it. Or they're gonna listen to it for 5 minutes
and then end.
If this sounds like crap, I'm gonna be like, Ian, we gotta go back. We gotta do it again.
Well, I'm down for it. I'm down to do this again. It's just like I said, it's therapeutic just to stay here and talk about video games in front of cameras.
It is. We'll get a live studio audience one day. We'll have snacks.
Just have drunk Dan,
drunken Danny,
over there. Just like how in the studios they'll have the applause button. He'll be ours.
Yeah. Just the one guy in the corner. Yep, that's our Danny.
But yeah,
so what's been going on post E3? Summer's always kind of dry.
Yeah, summer's always dry. There's always there's some years there's like some specs like 2013 we had The Last of Us during the summer.
Oh, Red Dead's right around the corner.
Yeah. I bet I'm not really that big into like Rockstar games myself.
Really? You're not a GTA guy?
Well, I like GTA for the fun of it, but not as an actual I'm gonna go buy it. Like I need to
do this. I like it more for the online crazy aspects.
Yeah,
like the actual game.
Like the fun part. Like that's why I'm not eager to play, but I can do it whatever because eventually Rockstar games they add so much afterwards.
I'm very jaded about Red Dead. I hate the game and I've never played it. And the reason for that is when was this? Probably 7-8 years ago, whenever the first one came out, I bought a copy off of eBay, which I buy games off eBay all the time, but I didn't pay attention when I bought it. It shipped out of China, and so what was weird was when I got the game, I think it was sealed, and so I unwrapped it and I opened it, and there was a Red Dead Redemption disc, but there was no nothing, there was no manual or anything. It was just a disc, and I'm like, that's weird.
Did the disc at least look like an Xbox?
It looked like a legit disc. So maybe I bought the wrong region or something. I don't know. Yeah. But I put it in my Xbox and it said play DVD. And I was like, uh-oh. And I hit play, and the only thing that came up was the Xbox, like a picture of the Xbox 360 logo. It was just an image. That's all it was. And it was like the DVD menu of stop. That's all it was.
Oh, so so it wasn't. I don't think.
So I didn't get an actual game, or if I did, it was the wrong region or something.
No, I don't think if it was region lock, it would tell you. If it was
I don't know what.
No. I don't think it's a different region because I'm pretty sure 360 was region was
I don't
region
know.
locked.
I don't know, but do some research on that. But so I was so jaded about that experience that I never actually went out and bought Red Dead Redemption, and so I've never played it.
I played it,
but I have just a stigma to it because that happened. But apparently in Red Dead 2, the horse's testicles will shrink.
So a number of games are region free, but it is a region locked system.
But no, apparently in Red Dead 2, the most scientific breakthrough is the horse's testicles will shrink or grow depending on the weather.
Oh yeah, and then also whenever you're doing slowdown, when you see how in Fallout you can see
Ian,
the damage.
Just imagine you're going to school for computer software.
Yeah.
Imagine you get your degree. You get a job at a big game developer. You're like, yes, my first real job.
I'm working on horse
Hey,
testicles.
kid, I need you to write 1,000 lines of code so when it's cold out, this horse's nuts will shrink. That's your first big assignment.
You can see it's more like an eye beholder thing. Is how you look at it. It's it can look really just really is this what I want to do, or just this is what I wanted to do all my life.
And really, you could piss off anyone by saying, "Hey, I get paid $60, $70, $80,000 a year to program horse nuts.
What do you do?
What do you do for a living?"
Yeah,
Speaking of developers and getting paid, Telltale. That happened, and and I also heard a follow up. So originally
they hired a different studio is finishing.
So originally, out of the blue, Telltale's like, "Hey, with the exception of 25 employees, everyone go home.
Mm-hmm.
Pack your bags, get out." And it was just like no one knew it was coming. Yeah. That includes the people in the company. And there was no severance pay. Mm-hmm. So there was, they just kicked him out, and that was it. And apparently, some developers tweeted who worked there, and they were saying they did overtime and never got paid for it, and just apparently it was just a crappy situation. And apparently, the 25 who were left were also... So apparently, I think Telltale at this point, as a company, is just totally shut down.
They're just finishing this game
gone.
now, and that's it.
So originally the story was Walking Dead's done. Mm-hmm. It's not going to be done. But since then, I think another studio, I guess, has come in and picked it up and said, we're going to finish it. Mm-hmm. It could be vastly different.
Which is weird. I can kind of see how it came just because they were just loading out games like crazy.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. They because of who they were, none of their product was original.
Yeah, so they had
everything was based. They had to make a bunch of big purchases.
All the licenses, they had to like.
So half their income probably went back to whatever license they had to buy from whatever company.
And all of them weren't like. All of them were big licenses like Batman,
Game of Thrones, and Walking Dead, and So it certainly wasn't the best business model in hindsight, but I mean that's the reality too. Just the game industry.
Yeah, and it's also
it's not easy.
Oh no, of course
it's not for. I remember I told someone once, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to get a computer science degree and do game development, and he was like, you don't want to do that, even though he's not he's not in the industry at all, but he just knew because it's that
it's that, and it's very competitive and everything.
It's very competitive and it's just very difficult.
Yeah,
and I think to this day we don't appreciate developers enough. I don't think they get the credit they deserve.
Which like when I heard it, the thing I cared about the most is make sure that those people had work to go to afterwards.
Right, and a lot of companies, I know Blizzard specifically, among others, tweeted out, and they were like, "Hey, if you worked at Telltale, here's our career, here's our job listing. Go apply," which is very cool.
Which makes me like happy to see because whenever a studio closes, something like this happens. All I see is other studios like, "Hey,
helping out and trying to do their part."
Cool.
Yeah,
it's cool to be part of the industry.
But it's brutal, is what it is. Which sucks, but, it is what it is. Apparently, from what I hear, it's kind of backwards. Because typically, the stereotype you think of when you think of, like, Japan, you think of the overworked guy who sleeps at his desk because he's busted his butt so hard. Whereas here, you think it's very, like, laid back. Apparently, as far as the game industry is concerned, that's backwards. Apparently, Japan is a lot more laid back with their game development. And America is where it's like, hey, we gotta get this game out now.
Yeah, because
Daddy EA said so.
Yeah, because I saw stories about it, how that like they're not being paid overtime, they had to work weekends. Stuff like that.
Yeah, that would suck.
Yeah, like I know it's like that in Japan for like anime.
Oh yeah, the anime industry's terrible.
Terrible.
I feel bad for liking anime because I know the people who work on it just
are like literally dying.
Slaves. And speaking of which, do you like My Hero Academia?
Of course I do. I'm one of those people that I read the manga. So
I caught up to the manga yesterday. Oh. Did you see the movie?
No, I have not seen the movie. I haven't gotten time.
It was so good.
The one movie.
It was so good.
The one movie I've been able to watch was Venom. I watched that.
Okay.
Ignore the critics.
That is what everyone has said about that film.
That movie is a blast. I laughed more at Venom than I laughed at Deadpool 2.
That's high praise.
Yeah, that movie was
hilarious. Deadpool 2 is funny.
Yeah, it's funny. I love Deadpool. It's one of my favorite side movies for Marvel. Because it's not part of the MCU.
Do you see that the buyout of Fox is closing by January 1st, 2019?
I'm so excited.
That's fast.
Because I'm excited because one of my favorite...
stuff like that takes years normally. Or at least a year.
Yeah, I know. It takes some...
Disney, they're like, we got it. Come on.
I'm pretty sure they've done this before, so...
Yeah.
it's not their first time on the rodeo, but
what
I'm
Disney-
excited because I really like X-Men and everything. Like, I was mainly Fantastic Four because like one of my favorite villains, sort of say, in comics is like Doctor Doom.
Okay.
He just fits that edgy.
You ready to see Doctor Doom with some Mickey Mouse ears?
Just go to one of the parks.
I've been waiting and been theorizing for years now on what is going to happen at Universal with all the Marvel stuff.
True.
And my theory, which I actually think is wrong.
Well, it could be a thing just like how, Sony thing, they have the license to it, so they can still run the roller coasters and everything.
Well, my original theory, which I think is being debunked as more details come out, my original theory was when the Marvel stuff all has to go away, that's when Nintendo's going to come in, because Nintendo is building Super Nintendo World at Universal.
Yeah, but they already have their own site.
But apparently, yeah, they have their own site, I think, and it's going to be massive.
Which I'm excited. Is there like a release window for?
I think it's 2020.
Release window.
Is there a release date for that theme park? 2020
Or
is what they're shooting for. As long as my brother still works there, I'll stock up on tickets. He's got a ton of them. We'll go every weekend.
Oh, that sounds.
I may just cave and buy an annual pass at that point.
Oh, if Nintendo, I'll be.
I gotta go. If I can go on day one and meet Reggie, because I haven't met Reggie.
I'm pretty sure Reggie will be there. Miyamoto will be there.
Well, he may be because there's one in Japan too.
True,
Originally,
I'm pretty sure they'll have the creator of most of the IPs.
Yeah, because originally it was just Japan, or at least that's what they showed at first. And everyone was like, "Oh crap, we gotta go to Japan just to." And now they're like, "Nope, just kidding. It's going to be at Universal Hollywood. It's going to be at Orlando." Which I think will be because a Nintendo theme park. I think is something people have dreamed about for 20 years.
They have so much to work with.
They have so many IPs. Now, obviously, we're going to get Mario, Zelda, and Pokemon because those are the only three apparently that exist in Nintendo. And none of the others. I would love an F-Zero roller coaster.
I think what they'll have is like for those other small franchises, they'll have like kind of like they do in Disney stores, like the store's themed after like Donkey Kong, like
the Spider-Man ride at Universal.
Yeah,
give me that for F-Zero.
That'd be dope.
Or an F-Zero roller coaster. I was thinking an F-Zero simulation and a Mario Kart 8 roller coaster.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Because it got like the anti-gravity
stuff.
Yeah,
like the Mario Kart, have it be like you driving the actual cars. Of course, you'll be in your in the lane because I don't trust anybody riding those things.
Oh heck no!
And so then it's kind of like you like as opposed to you like riding through, you go off a ramp and you go into a different. Like
here's your parachute. Yeah. Jump. Now you're playing Fortnite on Switch.
That's like what's it called? Like the Harry Potter ride where you're just like hanging on the seat and like this kind of like paragliding.
That gave. Let's see. I went with my buddies Miles, Darnell, and Thomas. We all went to Universal a couple weeks ago, and we did that. The one where you're going through the castle.
Yeah. And then you sit down. It's kind of like a paraglider.
And it's a big thing.
Yeah. It's like this.
And it like takes you backwards. And everything. Yeah. That gave us so much motion sickness.
Oh.
We all walked out of there like holding our heads and our stomachs, and we're like, "Oh God."
No, the only
that was terrible.
The only ride I've ever had motion sickness was in Epcot, the space simulation, where they actually
Mission Space.
Mission Space, where actually I remember
where you're spinning around so fast.
Yeah, and it's like
and you're hitting like the zero,
and
you can feel
distracted.
it. You feel it in your face.
Yeah, I'm just like I'm trying not to throw out. I'm trying to get distracted, and they have buttons. So I'm just like, as a little kid, I went like as an 11-year-old. I'm just like, just pressing the buttons, trying to get distracted, and not throw up over everybody.
Yeah, I'm surprised I didn't get claustrophobic as a kid too, because you just
they
shove you in a tiny box.
Yeah, it's like a tiny box with like 3 seats, and it's just like sitting there like,
and you're like, huh? And then
it's going like that.
It spins around super fast, so you feel the G-force, and I'm like,
it's horrible.
At first, I thought you were talking about you got motion sickness in the giant, I call it the golf ball. I forget what it's called. The other space where it's like,
well,
that's the thing. At first, I'm like, how do you get motion sickness on that? Please explain.
Oh my God, it's like getting motion sickness on the Disney, like going through the history of Disney.
Oh yeah,
I don't remember what it's
or
called.
The Carousel of Progress.
Yeah, Carousel of Progress. Yeah, that. Just like,
Grandpa came on a little too fast there for me.
Oh God,
I wasn't ready.
We're going through these decades a little way too fast. Oh. That's actually pretty good. But yeah,
speaking of Disney, remember Epic Mickey?
Yeah,
that was like a really good game.
Yeah, I saw the director of of that game? Warren Spector. Warren Spector.
Warren Spector.
Yeah, Warren Spector. He's the one who worked on.
Was he? Did you see him at E3?
I saw him at E3 last year. 2017.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, last year.
He looks like Tim Schafer.
Yeah. He was there with Tim Schafer.
Okay.
I didn't get to meet Warren Spector, but I met Tim Schafer. He was the first famous person I took a picture with.
I saw Pro Jared.
I didn't see the Pro Jared.
He was the one that started the scavenger hunt because it was day one, and I'm just kind of wandering around. And I'm like, Pro Jared, hey, can I get a picture of you? And then I sent it to you, and you're like, oh yeah, well I found this guy, and I was like, oh yeah, well I found this guy.
It was a blast. And, for me, it was right after I met Neil Druckmann. Because my dream is to work at Naughty Dog. I want to make Jack 4
until they randomly shut down.
They're not going to shut down.
And they cancel everyone except 25 employees.
That's not going to happen.
I just made your heart. Oh no.
Yeah, I would literally by myself bring them back.
I think Naughty Dogs came out though, and they're like, no more Jack, no more.
Well, they tried to do it, and it was way too realistic. And it wasn't sticking true to what the series was. They're trying to do more heartfelt, more like greedy stories.
By the way, can we talk about the PlayStation Classic?
Yeah.
They're not going to sell that thing unless they start telling us what games are on
it. I think
they announced they've given us 5 of the 20.
Which one of them is Final Fantasy 7?
One's Final Fantasy 7, because of course you got to have 10 copies of that.
Yeah.
But other than that, the other 4 games didn't look that enticing.
Okay. So
it doesn't come with an AC adapter. It doesn't come with an AC adapter. The controllers are the true original controllers that don't have the analog sticks. So goodbye Ape Escape, or any game that really,
Spyro.
Any game that you love with the analog stick.
Oh God.
This is what they're releasing for $100.
They're probably gonna pull on Apple and just buy it separately.
Or they may have a second version.
Okay,
or something.
Let's go down the list of let's suppose 5-10 games that should be on it. Final Fantasy 7.
Final Fantasy 7.
Metal Gear Solid.
Metal Gear Solid.
Crash.
Metal Twist.
Spyro.
Metal Twist.
Twisted Metal.
Twisted Metal.
Metal Twist.
Well, you said Metal Gear Solid, and I was like Metal. I was like, wait, that's not the right one. Twisted Metal.
Yeah, Twisted Metal.
Twisted Metal.
One of the Tomb Raiders.
Yeah, maybe those games have not aged well.
No, they have.
They have not.
I'm playing
well.
the new one, and you can. There's a setting where you can go through costumes, and you can pick the old polygon and play around the game, and it's an eyesore. It gives me nausea just looking at it.
See, that's something I'm worried about as the years go by. 2D games age like fine wine.
Yeah.
3D games age like milk.
Oh, it depends on the art style.
Yes, that's true.
Like Wind Waker.
Like Wind Waker looks better, but anything that's shooting for realism or anything that was 90s 3D
just looks outdated.
It just looks like shapes, and it looks terrible, and it's only going to get worse as games become more realistic. And I think even now,
it's because we're set to a standard.
Right, but I was looking at, I don't remember what it was. I think it was a PS3 game the other day, and even then I was like, this is looking kind of rough. And I don't remember what it was.
I can see that. I've gone through some.
But it's as time goes on, those games are just going to start looking worse and worse. So I can understand why people still love 2D games. I mean, retro games are awesome and everything. Yeah. Super Nintendo's the greatest console ever made, I would say.
Mine's PS2.
That's number 2 for me. Super Nintendo's number 1.
Yeah, PS2. That's the
you can't beat that library.
Yeah.
But that
there was a big library on PS2. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. You can't compete with. That's the largest library for any console.
Yeah, was there a lot of shit on it? Yes,
it's got Rumble Roses. You can't compete with Rumble Roses, the greatest game of all time. I didn't say that out loud, did I? Oops. Yeah. But that's this PlayStation Classic thing. It's not gonna. And also the picture for it, like the stock image, the controllers look like they're 2 feet long.
Yes, it's like.
And I'm like,
it's like the wire. It's like from here
to
here.
It looks, and I'm like, if that's the full length of the wire, we gotta have a chat because I know. Yeah. Well, Nintendo got away with it because I think the NES Mini one's like 3 feet.
Yeah, I have that.
Which is mimicking the original Famicom. It was a 3-foot control. I have an original Famicom, and I tried playing it.
I get it.
And I'm sitting like this close to it, and I'm like, people used to sit this. I'm like, this is terrible. But if that thing is 2 feet long, if they think I'm going to sit on the floor,
they're probably that's what they're going to do. They're going to pull an Apple. They're going to do. You got to buy the extension for how long?
You want that $30 wireless controller?
Oh no! And then buy an add-on for the
download the app and you play with your phone to control I don't know. They're gonna do something stupid. Do you see the name changes are coming for PS4 finally?
Yes, finally.
Took 'em-
I'm stuck with my freaking Call of Duty clan tag that I had because I
XX Elite Sniper
No, it's
420
not that bad.
XX.
It's not that bad.
Okay.
We were talking. Well, some of my friends are talking about it. How since those are gonna be gone, how secluded and like rare those names were gonna be defined nowadays, which will be funny. But yeah, no, I'm glad. Definitely gonna change my. I don't know to what, but
Yeah, I'll probably change mine to VGX7.
because I've wanted to change my name, but I have so many trophies. I'm not sure.
Mine for years.
When it comes to that.
Going back to Billy Joel, in like 7th grade, I had a teacher. He touched me. No, he was one of those teachers that gave everybody nicknames, and so he found out I liked Billy Joel, and so he called me Billy Joel Jr. And so that was my name tag. So my name tag on PlayStation and Xbox to this day is Billy Joel Jr. And I'm like, I still love Billy Joel, but I'm kind of done being Billy Joel Jr.
Yeah, no, I get it because for me, my username was douche something. Because it was a Call of Duty. I was a dick to everybody.
The doucheinator coming at you live.
You know, the first one it was Douchemeister. I was like, oh.
Ooh.
Now that I think about it, I was like, oh.
Ooh, that sounds like something you leave in a toilet after some hot wings.
Yeah. And then now the one I have is Prodigy Douche because I was.
What's with you and douche?
Because I was tagged with
a douche kink, huh?
I was tagged with a clan that was called Prodigy, so that's what I had. It's Prodigy.
But why douche?
No,
because you were cool. You wanted to fit in with all your douchey friends.
I guess.
None of which are your friends with anymore.
No. Like, even in high school.
Because they're all douches.
Like, all the friends I talked to that happened to be from high school are people that I don't talk to anybody from my graduation class.
See, I'm sad because, like, back in high school, everyone was on 360 and everyone was happy. And then as soon as PS4 came and blew everyone out of the water, everyone went to PS4. But it was never the same in terms of everyone playing online together and everything. And I can't tell you the last time I was in a big party playing online with friends. Like, it doesn't happen anymore. I'll play with 1 or 2 people. But I used to be like with like 7 or 8 other people, and we would play Halo or whatever.
I still get that because I still actually something good segue to go into. Not the next part after, but I still play like a League.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, something I've played for what?
I played League for 20 minutes and was like, yeah, no.
That's still the one game that's through the test of time. I still play games. But actually, like, something I've started playing this week with friends is I started playing Modern Warfare 2 on the PC.
What are you doing, Ian?
I don't know. I'm just like, looking at all these games. I'm looking at Fortnite and everything. I'm just bored. And then I had Modern Warfare 2, but I had nobody to play with. And then I finally convinced one of my friends because it was on sale because Black Ops is coming out.
I know,
and
it was on PC.
And then we're having the time of our lives playing it again. We got
Is
just
there
yesterday.
is there like 10 people online?
No, we actually get like frequent. Okay, first, well, yeah, you can only click team deathmatch because anything else you won't find anything. But like consistently, I would match, and it's not even that hacked. It was that's what I thought it was gonna be because that's how it was on PS3 and Xbox.
Hack-free server, go nuts server.
That's pretty much how it was. Yeah, like 1 out of every probably 10 lobbies will be hacked.
Okay.
But you know, just like yesterday, we had a lobby of like 5, myself and like 4 other friends, and we were having a blast.
That's not bad.
Yeah, we felt like freaking grandpas because we were playing a game from 2009 in 2018.
I was officially referred. I found out the other day. I don't know if you saw my status on Facebook about this.
I think I did.
I'm official. Someone referred to me as my friend. His name is Trevor. He goes, "Oh, Trevor's old guy friend." I've never been so insulted in my life. People wonder, they're like, "You're not old." I'm like, "No, but people treat me like I am."
Did you know the backstory or why he said that? Like, what was his reason?
He was relaying a story that I told him, which he shouldn't have relayed in the first place. I'm not going to go into that.
Gotcha.
But he referred to me as Trevor's old guy friend. And I'm like, "Are you serious, you little 18-year-old punk? I'm going to shake my cane at you and throw my walker." Back in my day, it was 64-bit. Yeah, no, I couldn't believe it.
No, I feel it.
I'm like,
I
don't get haircuts anymore because it's getting thinner up there. Clock's ticking for me, man.
It's like for it's
Instead of looking for Cessor, I'm about to become him if I'm not careful. You can be Kevin, I'll be Cessor.
I'm done with that.
Kevin, you good with that?
Yeah. We just get the good old G4 rolling.
Kevin, you want to just come on my podcast? I watch yours all the time. You can be a part of
just
mine.
Come around and just
That's
come
fair.
to depressing Florida, where we can just.
Come to Florida. Don't worry, we're central. The Hurricane Michael didn't come destroy us.
Oh my God, I saw videos of that.
Hurricane Michael destroyed Panama City.
I sure did.
I saw videos of that.
I remember last year when Irma was coming. It was coming straight to Tampa. And I was like, I gotta go. I went to
Did you
Orlando.
evacuate?
Yeah, I evacuated to Orlando.
I didn't evacuate, and I was like, I should have left. But
No, I
granted,
evacuated to Orlando.
it like fizzled out at the last minute, and I was like, oh,
you know, I
okay,
evacuated
crisis
to
averted.
Orlando, and then I was like, okay, cool, I'm safe. And then the day before, I'm looking at the weather forecast, and it's like, oh, it's going like this. It's going straight to Orlando. I was like,
And then
so like the last 2 nights in Orlando, I spent it sweating.
But this one sucked. See, everyone's like, oh, hurricanes aren't bad because you have all the time in the world, which is kind of true, but not when they're coming out of the Gulf. This was like Sunday. They're like, hey, there's a hurricane coming. And I was like, what? And then it hit. And then like 2 days
Because
later.
usually they come out like from like in between the Caribbean and like Africa, and like because usually how it's been, but not from the Gulf, and just like woo, little swervy thing.
Yeah. Well,
How are we doing on time?
I think we should probably wrap this up for this episode.
Wrap this up. All right, so we're gonna conclude with hurricane.
I hope you enjoyed our E3 in October discussion,
Which we talked about probably like 10-20% of this podcast.
because
was
that
about E3
high
related.
just doesn't go away, and then when it
It does
does, the
not.
next one rolls around, and you're
We
like,
have-
hey, we're back, we're doing it again.
Dude, I remember it's like right when E3 was done. I don't know, was it you? I don't know who updated the E3 group chat. We were like E3 2019
Question mark? Hey, y'all ready for that?
And every now and then, like once or twice a month, we send a message on the group chat.
Usually it's just a meme of country roads or making
Yes.
fun of Danny or Nathan.
Usually Danny.
Usually Danny.
Nathan is usually we find a picture of a guy that looks like him.
That's right. Yeah.
That's usually when
Hey, this hobo looks like you. You're welcome. So, hey, don't forget, like, comment, subscribe. I know that's the cliche
sure.
thing
And
to
then
do, but it's the reality. Hey, we need the support.
yeah, and then if you see anything that we could improve on, just
And
let us
hopefully
know.
this will be a weekly thing. I hope. Ian signed the contract. He doesn't realize it, but
Yeah.
he sold his soul to this show. So, hey, I want to thank y'all for watching. We'll see you next week. Kisses, hugs, and belly rubs. See you
Take it
later.
easy.